When it comes to systems training, simulation has long been recognized as the most effective tool. Conventional e-learning can be used to teach system usage, but hands-on experience of a simulated system leads to far greater information retention. And higher quality training not only makes for better system users, it also leads to significant savings with less time and money spent on training. But while simulation may be accepted as the best method for delivering end-user training, choosing the right simulation tool is a more complicated issue. Simulations are typically created using either screen copy or software cloning software. Screen copy programs simply grab static images from the real system. More sophisticated screen copy tools allow some on-screen functionality from the real system to be built on. Software cloning programs, the latest generation of system simulators, grab not just the screen, but also its functionality, producing a replica of the actual system. However, in spite of the growing sophistication of these tools, large-scale organizations typically encounter a common range of problems when using them. Simulations built using screen copy tools tend to be limited, even when screen functionality can be added. Software cloning tools produce more accurate simulations, but they are not always foolproof. Without truly authentic system interaction, simulation can fail to engage the learner. In addition to this, when a screen in the original system changes, each comparable screen in the simulation has to be modified. This can be extremely time-consuming and create huge problems when the original system is constantly evolving. Another problem is that in order to utilize simulation tools, external suppliers typically have to access the original system. This is often difficult because of technical barriers, firewall protocols for example, or the client's policies on data protection. Simulation tools also require a finished system before the simulation can be built. But systems and the system training that go with them often need to be rolled out simultaneously. Once a system is built, there is often a significant delay until simulation training is available. Finally, simulation tools, in particular software cloning programs, tend to be extremely expensive. In response to the problems posed by conventional simulation tools, XOR created the Emulation Toolkit. Shifting the emphasis from simulation to emulation, it provides the optimum tool for end-user training in large-scale organizations. Rather than screen copying or software cloning, the emulation process starts with XOR reviewing the original system. The system is meticulously scoped, with each component from drop-down boxes to background graphics logged in detail. Next, the Emulation Toolkit is used by XOR programmers to replicate each system component in exact detail. Then, individual components are linked together to perfectly recreate the appearance and functionality of the original system. Finally, the Emulation Toolkit allows the emulated system to be deployed in a variety of ways. Any part of it can be configured with full or limited interactivity for training purposes. Instructional training and tests can also be overlaid. The client can then use the toolkit to run these emulations, or export them for use within their own training system. So what advantages does the Emulation Toolkit offer over more conventional simulation tools? A system replicated within the Emulation Toolkit has greater fidelity to the look and feel of the original system. Unlike with screen copy or software cloning simulations, the Emulation Toolkit encourages precise component engineering. This makes for more engaging simulations. Constant changes to a system present a headache for regular simulation tools. But with the Emulation Toolkit's component system, updates are far more easily accommodated. A change to a screen doesn't necessitate having to change every instance of that screen in the emulation. The component is simply modified once. The component system also means that any new emulation benefits from the construction of prior emulations. XOR already has a library of components from previous projects, which significantly reduces development time. The emulation development process does not require our programmers to have constant access to the original system. Having an initial, one-off scoping procedure eliminates many of the problems presented by a need to continually work with the original system. Unlike with other simulation tools, the Emulation Toolkit does not require a finished system as its basis. It can create an accurate emulation based on a quality specification document for the original system. Systems which are still being built can be emulated, which means that system and simulation training can be rolled out simultaneously. Every part of the Emulation Toolkit is web-based, which means there's no need for desktop installation, and upgrades are handled automatically. In organizations where authoring and learning communities might be large and widely dispersed, this can make for huge savings. XOR typically build emulation components, create the system emulations, and any training material to go on top of this. But if required, the client can be trained to perform any of these functions. The Emulation Toolkit was specifically designed to offer cost-effective end-user training to large-scale organizations. The toolkit's component system ultimately reduces development and maintenance time, providing a truly sustainable e-learning solution.